Dear students, in this video we are going to discuss area moment method to find the slope and deflection. In the previous video we discussed double integration method to find the slope and deflection. In this video we are going to discuss the area moment method, particularly an introduction to the area moment method. In the next video, we will discuss the problems related to area moment method. Right? What is moment area method? It is the one of the method to determine the slope and deflection. That is, the moment area method is to determine the slopes and deflection with the help of area of the moment diagram. Actually, when a beam is loaded, because of the external load, the beam will deflect, and the deflected shape is known as elastic curve. These the things already we discussed in the previous video, but however, I have to introduce here also. So, based on this elastic curve and its flexural rigidity, that is E and I, we prepare a diagram is called curvature diagram. Otherwise, it is known as M divided by EI, M by EI diagram. That is M by EI diagram or curvature diagram. Once we prepared the curvature diagram, we can use some theorems, what is called moment area theorems, to find slope and deflection. There are two moment area theorems. The first theorem is that relates to slope of the beam, and the second theorem that relates to the deflections. These two theorems were developed by Otto Moore. So by his name, these two theorems are called Moore's theorem. That is Moore's theorem 1 and Moore's theorem 2. So these two theorems help to determine the slope and deflection with the help of curvature diagram. Right? So the theorem 1 states that change in the slope of a beam between 2 points is equal to the area under the curvature diagram between those 2 points. The theorem 2 states that the vertical distance, what is called tangential deviation of any point B on the elastic curve of a beam from a tangent drawn at any other point A on the elastic curve equals the first moment with respect to an axis at B of the area under the curvature diagram between ordinates at A and B. These are the two theorems. In the next slide, we try to prove these two theorems. Right. Where can we apply this method, that is moment area method? That is, if a beam at any particular point, the slope is 0, we can apply this area moment method for that point. That is, first case cantilever beams, the second one is simply supported beam, and fixed beams. For these three type of beam, the moment area method is easier one to find the slope and deflection, because in cantilever beam, slope at the fixed end is 0. Slope at the fixed end is 0. That is, here in this cantilever beam, the fixed end, the slope is 0. Here the slope is 0. Here the slope is 0. Similarly, in the case of simply supported beam, right? Here the slope is, suppose if the deflection is like this, no? Right, sorry, this is slope is like this, no? Right. So this is the elastic curve. So here the slope and slope is right. Simply supporting getting symmetrical loading. Here, suppose if it is symmetrical loading, the slope at middle end here, slope at here, slope at midspan is 0. Here the slope will be 0 at midspan is 0. And beam with fixed end here, the elastic curve will be like this, right? So here and here the slope is 0, right? So in the case of cantilever beam, the slope is 0 at fixed end. In the case of fixed end, both the ends are fixed, so slope is 0 at both ends. In simply supported beam, the maximum slope will be at A and B, but at midspan there is no deflection. So for these three cases, we can adopt this area moment method. Moreover, for the problems involving several changes in loading, the area moment method can be adopted. The area moment method is usually much faster than the double integration method, right? Okay. This is the proof for theorem 1, right? Already in the previous videos, we discussed the beam theory. Is it no? The beam theory, that is bending theory. What is that? M by I is equal to F by Y is equal to E by R. Is it no? This is the bending equation. F by Y is equal to E by R. This is the general bending equation. We already discussed this one in the earlier videos, right? If you watch that one, you can understand very easily, right? Now consider a beam subjected to pure bending. This also already discussed what is pure bending, is it no? Right. Consider a beam subjected to pure bending moment of M. Due to the end moments, that is couples, the beam will bend into a circular arc is known as elastic curve. So this is the neutral axis of a original beam. When it is loaded, it will deflect like this and forms an arc like this. So that is elastic curve. So neutral axis changed to an arc, that is elastic curve. So that A and B points, consider any 2 points A and B, that becomes A dash B dash after the deflection, right? So as the curve is a part of the circle, the radius of the arc is R of the circle. As already told, suppose this arc may be a part of the circle, is it not? Right. So it is suppose if it is an arc, this is a part of the circle, is it not? So it will have one radius center. So we can take this part as like this, right? Okay. Okay. So these the things already we discussed in the earlier videos, right? However, from the basic beam theory, the radius of the curvature is given by the equation, that is m by I is equal to E by R. These two expressions we consider here, m by I is equal to E by R. Otherwise, it can be written as 1 by R, that is this E comes here, that is m by EI, and therefore 1 by R is equal to m by I. Let it be equation number 1. Here what is the m? M is the moment. What is EI? E is nothing but the fluxual rigidity, right? Everything is already discussed in the earlier videos. If you watch that video, definitely you can understand very easily, that is what is bending theory, what is the expression, that is equation for the bending theory, right? Everything will be understand, right? Now consider any 2 points PQ, right? This P and Q, right? PQ on the elastic curve. So after the deflection, you will have an elastic curve. So this is A dash, B dash is an elastic curve. In this curve, you are considering a small length of PQ, right? The small curve length B ds, right? The radius is R. The angle between this PQ or d theta, right? Okay. So um, let the angle be d theta. Since the curve ds is very small, very small, right? Immeasurable. So it can be considered as a straight line, that is dx. The straight line is dx. The curved length is ds. So as the length of the curve is very small, we consider that is straight line dx. Okay, all right. Now what is ds? This is the radius r, and the angle between these 2 points are d theta. So the ds can be written as r d theta. Is it not? Ds is equal to r radius into the angle between the points, right? That is r d theta. R d theta is equal to this r comes left hand side, so d theta becomes ds by r. But we know ds is equal to dx, considering a straight line. So instead of ds, we put dx. So d theta is equal to dx by r, or 1 by r into dx. Let it be equation number 2. Now, from the equation 1, 1 by r is nothing but m by ei. Put this value here in equation number 2. We will get d theta is equal to, instead of 1 by r, m by ei. So d theta is equal to m by ei into dx. Is it now? Right? Okay. Okay. So this m by ei dx is for very small length. If we want the slope for the entire beam, what you have to do? You have to integrate. Is it no? So you are integrating between the points A and B, that is m by ei into dx. What is this m by ei? Is nothing but m by ei is the curvature diagram, m by ei diagram. So if you find the area of this particular area, that is between P and Q. P and Q. If you find this area, this is equal to the change in slope between P and Q. That is, if you want to find the slope between P and Q, if you want to find the slopes, change in slope between P and Q, what you have to do is, you have to find the area between the P and Q in the M by A diagram, that is in curvature diagram. If you know this area of this diagram, that will be equal to the change in slope between these 2 points. This is Morse theorem 1, right? Change in slope is nothing but area of M by A diagram. This is known as Morse first theorem. What he says is, the change in slope between any 2 points, the change in slope between any 2 points, right? Here is 1 point and here is 1 point. So the slope is changing, is it not? So the change in slope between any 2 points on an elastic curve is equal to, what is that? The area of MBA diagram, area of M by A diagram between these 2 points. Between these 2 points. This is Morse theorem 1. Suppose if we want the change in slope between A and B, that is for entire beam, what you have to do? The entire area to be calculated. So the entire area to be calculated, the entire area of M by A diagram, this curvature diagram, will give the change in slope between A and B. Okay. So if you want the change in slope between any 2 points, the area of that 2 points in the M by A diagram will give the change in slope, right? Okay. Now, theorem 2, we will discuss theorem 2. What is the theorem 2 says? The vertical distance is not deflection. Deflection is different, right? Suppose if it is suppose it is original beam, is the original beam, and it reflect like this. So this original beam to the deflected shape, the vertical distance, this vertical distance between the original beam to the deflected shape, it is known as deflection, right? It is known as deflection. But deviation is different. Suppose it is an arc, and this is 1 point and this is 1 point. If you draw a slope of a tangent for these 2 points, tangent, if you draw a tangent for this point and this point, the vertical distance between these 2 tangent points is known as deviation, right? It is deviation, and this one is deflection. So there is a lot of difference between the terms deviation and deflection, right? Okay. Here the vertical distance, that is tangential deviation of any point B on the elastic curve of a beam from the tangent drawn at any other point A on the elastic curve equals to the first moment with respect to an axis at B of the area and a M by E diagram between ordinates at A and B. What is that? Is nothing but, suppose it is A and B are the 2 points, end points, and the P and Q are the very small length, the points of small length. As already we discussed, the angle between these small points are d theta, the radius is r, right? Now, if we draw a vertical line from a B, a perpendicular line, a vertical line is drawn from B. Why we draw here a vertical line is, it is a reference line. Here we are going to, at the point B, we are going to determine the vertical distance, so that we consider this is the reference line. Suppose if you want to find the vertical distance at here, you have to draw a reference line. But in this case, we are going to determine the vertical distance at this point B, so that we draw a vertical line from B. Okay, could you understand? Right. So a vertical line was drawn from B as shown in figure. Now tangents were drawn to P and Q. From P, a tangent is drawn, that is a green line, and for this point Q on elastic curve, we draw a tangent, that is pink line. Not for straight line, for the elastic curve, for the points PQ on elastic curve, a tangent is drawn, right? Okay, not for in straight line. The elastic curve for the points P and Q, we have to draw a tangents to P and Q. Now, these two tangents intercept the vertical line. At that point, we have to measure the vertical distance, that is dz. Okay, right. The same figure in the previous slides here also consider for better understanding, right? Okay, this is the figure what you have seen in the previous slide. The same diagram is presented here, right? Okay, so this is dz, right? What is the angle between these two tangents? Is nothing. The same angle here, no, the d theta. The same angle is here, right? So dz is the very small vertical distance. So it can be written as dz is nothing but d theta, right? We know from the first theorem, that is the Morse theorem 1, the slope is nothing but the area of the curvature diagram. Here d theta is what? That slope, is it not? So how can we write? So it is the area of the m by ei diagram. So therefore we can write it as m by ei, right? Now taking moment for this area. So this is the moment diagram, that is m by a diagram. So we are considering these 2 points. So for these 2 points, this is the area, right? If we take the moment for this area, what is that? This area into perpendicular distance, considering this vertical line. So we are taking moment from this reference line. So what is the distance? Centroidal distance. Whenever we take moment, suppose in considering a force, what we do for taking the moment is force into perpendicular distance, is it no? Similarly here, area moment, so that area into perpendicular distance. Perpendicular distance is nothing but centroidal distance. But in the case of beam, in generally we in the beam we draw a line diagram, right? So the line is nothing but representing a rectangle. So the centroid is center of the rectangle, right? Similarly here, this area into perpendicular distance is centroidal distance. That is from here, it is, say, let it be x. Okay. So this area is m by ei. What is the centroidal distance? X, right? So m by ei into dx. This is for the small area. Suppose if you want for the whole area, what you have to do? You have to integrate. So it becomes the limit is a to b. Is it now a to b? So it becomes m by ei, and the centroidal distance is, that is m by a means the total area. This m by a is for this particular area, small area. This m by a is for the limit of a to b, so total area. What is the x? What is the central distance? So for the total area, the centroidal is x bar. What is it? X bar means, suppose this one is x1 and x2 and x3, x4, x5, x6. That is the moment diagram will have many parts. So for each and every part, we name it as A1, area 1, area 2, area 3, like this. So each and every area will have some centroid, that is x1, x2, x3, like this. So for total, so x1 plus x2 plus x3 is nothing but x bar, is it no? So what is that? Considering a whole beam, it may be rewritten as m by ei x bar dx. Okay, so the central distance is x bar for the whole area of the beam, right? Do you understand? Now that is what is first moment of m by e diagram about the end b. About the end b, this is the end b. So we are taking moment about this b, right? Right. So this can be written as vertical intercept area of diagram into centroidal distance. This is the second theorem, right? What the second theorem states? For a beam, the vertical intercept between one point and the tangent to the curve of another point is equal to the first moment of the area m by e diagram between the 2 points about the point where the intercept is measured. That is another. What is that? The vertical intercept between one point and the tangent to the curve of another point, right? So it is the elastic curve. Here we draw a reference line, that is vertical line. Draw an intercept, draw a tangent from here. It intercept the vertical line here. So the vertical distance, this is where we have to measure, right? It is nothing but the moment diagram, right? This is a moment diagram. The total area into x bar distance. Okay, okay, right? So area into x bar, right? Okay. What is that? This is the expression. Here m is the moment, a is the flexural rigidity, this is the area of the moment curvature, and x bar is the centroidal distance. So it can be written as a area a x bar divided by ei. Okay. Actually, when a beam is loaded, the bending moment diagram will be like this or like this. So the bending moment will have different shapes, is it no? Combination of triangle, rectangle, parabola, like this. Here they have one rectangle. This one is rectangle, right? So this one is rectangle, is it not? This one is this is A1, right? And this one is parabolic triangle, parabolic curve, the triangle with the parabolic curve. So this is area 2, and this one is triangle, so area 3. So we split into 3 different diagrams. Say the single bending moment diagram is split into 3 different shapes. That is rectangle, and this one is triangle with the parabolic curve, and this one is triangle like this. So we have 3 different areas. So each and every area will have different x values, that is the centroidal distance from the reference line. Suppose if it is the reference line, it will have one centroid, but this is x1. So x2 will, the centroid of x2 will vary, that is x2 and x3. So now a1 x1 plus a2 x2, right, plus a3 x3, right, a3 x3, like this. Okay, so x1 x2 x3 all are what we can, x1 plus x2 x3 plus x4 etc etc, we can write it as x bar, right? So area of the M by EA diagram and the x bar, the centroidal distance, divided by EA will give vertical distance for the reference point. Okay. Similarly, the next problem, suppose the bending moment diagram is like this. We can split into different shapes. The rectangle, or like the triangle plus rectangle, or only the triangle here. Here also rectangle and triangle, or two triangles. That is upon to our consideration, right? We can split into different shapes, right? So based on these shapes, we have to calculate the area of the each and every shape. We have to calculate the area and its x bar, right? So after determining the a bar, a and the x bar, we can calculate the total vertical distance having this formula, right? So this is Morse theorem 2, right? Okay. So these are the some basic shapes. Generally, we will have the moment diagram having these shapes. These are the basic shapes, right? Suppose rectangle. What is the area of rectangle? Base into height, that is BH, right? That is length into breadth. However, what is the x bar? From here, b by 2, right? Half into its breadth. For a triangle, what is the area of BH? Is it no? What is the x bar? 1/3 of its base from here, right? From, suppose if you consider vertex, from vertex it is 2/3 of base, right? Right. If your shape have triangle, but it have parabolic curve, what will you do? What is the area? 2/3 BH. What is the x bar? 3/8 of its base from its base here, from here 3/8 of its, from here 5 by 8, right? So triangle with the third degree parabolic curve, what is the area? 1/3 BH. What is the x bar? 1/4 of B from here, right? Similarly, you can find uh, using these ideas, you can solve any problem beam to determine the find and slope using area moment method, right? With this, I conclude this introduction. In the next video, we will discuss the problems related to this area moment method. Thank you.